So, let's get this party started.
Let's go. You ready?
Yeah.
On the mark, set, let's go. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are. We're back with the North Carolina Angry Patriots.
I'm the boss lady. Whoop, whoop.
Yep, and we're sponsored by Doggone Fishing, best pet toy in the world. And today we're going to talk about Mark Robinson again. My wife's got some, what are they called? Complaint forms or ethics complaints?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ethics complaints that he was asked about. Now, me and her personally know that Mark Robinson is a lying tyrant, but we're gonna talk about these right now.
Yeah, long story short, we're going to make this kind of short and sweet and to the point. I did a redress of grievance to Mark Robinson back in March of 2021, I believe.
Yeah.
From a lot of targeting that was going on to us for putting out some campaign signs against the political official in our town. So, to stop the targeting, I did a redress of grievance to Mark Robinson, asking for help from him, his office, anybody he might know that could help us. And so I helped campaign for Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson, this is Carrie. I'm going into Bass Pro Shop. I'm going to go to the Garland area, talk to people, and see if they're all about their Second Amendment rights and pass out some flyers and some stickers.
Merry Christmas.
Let's go. Merry Christmas, y'all.
So stop it.
Rode around with his name on my car. Got many pictures with him. Went to many events that he held. Supported him wholeheartedly and believed in him. Well, once my redress of grievance happened, we became more of a bigger target, and that's when the problem started, and I kept trying to get in touch with Mark and have no luck getting in touch with him. And so I'm starting to figure out why there's nothing done in the one county that we did get targeted in, where we were doing business. Two different people were targeted by law enforcement, and nothing's been done or said or asked about or anything like that. So I've been really campaigning hard against Mark Robinson. I'll campaign hard for you, but just like they say about a woman, you know, they're going to love you hard, but they'll hate you harder. And so I'm campaigning harder against him. And I know that he has a lot of people that follow him and just think the world of him, and that's great
So
and
did
dandy.
we.
I helped him, had his personal cell phone number, talked to him many times. And so I've been digging around. There's a lot of other things that have come out, like ethical behavior, unethical behavior, I should say, by him during his campaign. And I know a lot of the right mainstream media won't show this. They want to keep saying Mark Robinson should be vice president. Well, God forbid, he can't even run North Carolina. He can't even run his own household. Let's put it like that. He doesn't know how to keep up with paying taxes. He can't keep up with his household. He's filed bankruptcy 3 times. I think in 6 years he filed bankruptcy 3 times. He just now got some unpaid taxes resolved that had come up since dated back to 2006. And so now we're finding out that did Mark Robinson break the law during his 2020 campaign? And this is an open letter campaign. This is the guy that wrote this. His name is Bob Hall, and he is a guy that investigates political people and make sure that they're doing the right thing.
You would call him a fact checker or a politician checker.
Yeah. So it says he's a retired executive director of the group Democracy North Carolina and a veteran government and politics watchdog. Is what it actually says about him, sir.
Well, we know one thing about Mark Robertson he did in 2020. He lied to you.
2021, yes.
Well,
Okay, yeah,
2020 he was campaigning, wasn't he?
yeah.
He told you when we talked to him the first time, vote for people like me and we'll clean up the corruption, and that's how you get rid of corruption, is voting for people like Mark Robertson. No, he wasn't nothing but a two-faced liar.
Yeah, I think he's using this in campaign donations. It's just my opinion. All this is just totally opinionated, except for this is a commentary that somebody else wrote. But it has actually been filed with the State Board of Elections, and it is a letter that he had written.
It's an ethics complaint.
Yeah, this is an ethics complaint, and he was asked by Raleigh News and Observer reporter to review several odd campaign expenses disclosed on reports of Mark Robinson committee. I'll let, if y'all want to look it up, it's a good thing to look up. There's a lot to read, and I'm not wanting to go into a whole lot of it, and this being a short thing, but anyway, you can look it up. And I will say that, so at the end of this ethics complaint that has been filed against Mark Robinson, I'm just going to go to the end of it. Finally, adding all the donations in the campaign reports appears to total about $1,383,000, but the final summary page of the committee shows a total of about $1.3 million. I also get a different figure for expenses from the summary page, but I know it's not uncommon for such differences to occur and get corrected during the state board's auditing process. There were donors that were not identified. That is against ethics and general statute laws. Lack of address information. Donors that lived outside of North Carolina. That was against North Carolina standards. There were supposedly electric guitars bought that were used for a raffle, but there weren't clear understandings about this. There were $10,800 contributions that apparently violates contribution limit. Donations of more than $5,400 on the same day from the same person, which together exceeds the contribution limit. There were cash withdrawals of $2,400 that was clearly prohibited by general statutes. There's apparent cash withdrawals in Kinston, no identified purpose. So this person is doing a lot of wanting to know where all this spending is going for Mark Robinson. Well, he's already said that he doesn't do math very well, and he's already filed bankruptcy 3 times. Once 1998, 1999, and 2003. In 6 years, this man that you want to run our state has filed bankruptcy 3 times, has already said he can't do math. He's just now paid taxes, unpaid taxes, back to 2006. I'm going to say to any reporter or anybody that is following Mark Robinson and wants to vote for him, that's your complete legal right to do, your American right to choose whoever you want. But if there was a D beside of his name, this would be a whole different story, and I don't think that y'all would be talking like this. Y'all would be actually talking about all the unethical things that Mark Robinson's doing. Him and his wife are on a charter school boards that apparently aren't supposed to be. So he recused himself, but yet this school is 2 hours from where they live and probably 3 hours from the governor's mansion. So I'm just kind of curious as to why it is in a county so far away. But I'm going to go back to this letter right here and just hit a couple highlights about this. Did Mark Robinson break the law during his 2020 campaign? This is by NC Newsline, and I'll put the link to this article in the page. So there's a lot going on. I'm going to start out. It says a year from now you could be sworn in as the new governor of North Carolina. A week later you could be charged with criminal violations from an ongoing investigation into more than $500,000 of apparent illegal activity related to your 2020 campaign. Illegal cash donations, contributions in illegal amounts, and from illegal donors, illegal cash withdrawals, illegal credit card charges, and illegal expenses. Illegal disclosure of financial transactions. His staff wants to put it off.
Mark Robinson's campaign reports appear to still be under review. Hello and welcome to your Under the Dome newsletter. Avi Bajpai here. In February 2021, longtime government accountability advocate Bob Hall filed a complaint with the State Board of Elections raising questions about several potential irregularities in Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's campaign finance reports. Issues with Robinson's reports had first come to light during the 2020 campaign. At the time, Robinson told WRAL that he was hiring someone new to manage campaign finances, and that any problems would be addressed quick, fast and in a hurry. Soon after he was elected, Robinson's consultant and spokesperson told the News and Observer that the campaign was aware of clerical errors related to our campaign finance reports, and was transitioning to a new staff, and was in the process of working with the NCSP to fix any and all mistakes, and to amend our reports to be accurate and up to date. Nearly 3 years later, the public remains in the dark about where things stand with an investigation the NCSP opened after receiving his complaint, Hall told the N&O this week. Hall, who sent Robinson and his staff a letter last week urging them to clarify publicly whether the issues with his campaign reports were still being investigated or had been addressed, tried to speak with Robinson about the issue after Tuesday's council. Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Among other issues, Hall said in his complaint he had identified potentially illegal cash donations, contributions in illegal amounts and from illegal donors, illegal cash withdrawals, illegal credit card charges and illegal expenses, and illegal disclosure of financial transactions. Those allegations appear to still be under investigation. While state elections officials are prohibited by law from commenting on the existence or status of investigations into campaign finance reports, Hall said that shouldn't stop Robinson, the current frontrunner in the GOP primary for governor, from explaining publicly what steps his campaign has taken to resolve or address the issues with his reports. A law passed and enacted by the GOP-controlled legislature in 2018 over Governor Roy Cooper's veto made all campaign finance investigations confidential, But the state board's campaign finance complaint policy adopted in 2019 notes that the law's confidentiality provision does not prevent a complainant or a respondent from publishing or otherwise disclosing the complaint, substance of the complainant, the response, or any substance of the response to members of the media or the public. The public shouldn't be kept in the dark, Hall wrote in his letter to Robinson. Rather than be surprised, voters need to hear from you now, before the primary, not after the November election.
Don't get me wrong, I used to like Mark Robinson till I found out he was a lying traitor.
And now we're understanding why he can't help us. Is because he's really busy trying to get his own butt out of hot water that he's got in, because he apparently is a spending spree kind of man. Him and his wife have spent a good chunk of change on outfits and stuff. Y'all want to talk about Ronna McDaniel? Y'all want to... It's so funny that the Republicans in the mainstream media, or the not so mainstream media, like Real America's Voice even, don't want to talk about... They talk about Ronna McDaniel once she's already been called out. But they want Mark Robinson to run for governor of North Carolina and possibly vice president for President Trump. Apparently they don't do too much research, or they don't want to put the things out that they found out. Well, that's no different than the Democrat channels not doing what they're supposed to, and let the American people know what the real deal is about each and every candidate that they find out, good or bad, and put it out there for the Americans to make a decision on, and help them, not sit there and try to cover it up and hide. And I mean, what has Mark Robinson done for you that you're hiding all this ethical stuff from the American people and think that he deserves to be in the White House? He doesn't even deserve to be in North Carolina governor's mansion. Not saying that any Democrat does either, but there are more Republicans that are running for governor. So anybody that's looking to see who they want to vote for needs to do a lot of research and read all the articles, whether you think they're a Democrat channel or not, and do your own research. That's what we've had to do, and we found out things about Mark Robinson, for example. I mean, he needs to answer questions of his campaign finance irregularities and talk to the people. He wants to preach this good talk.
I'd have me a nice suit if I had a couple $1 million of taxpayers' money I could spend.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd also have me a new truck.
So this is what this is the thing I was trying to pull up. It took it a minute. We don't have very good reception here, but okay. Some of our review of Robinson's 2020 campaign finance reports. It appears to Hall that Robinson's campaign may, among several concerns listed here, have used campaign cash to pay off personal loans, improperly failed to disclose required donor identification information, included discrepancies between total income from detailed contribution listings pages and that listed on the summary page. And shortly after Hall filed his complaint, one of Robinson's political consultants at the time, Conrad, passed the complaint off as, at the most, it's clerical errors. So that's what you're dealing with, and if this is who you want in the governor's mansion, then good for you. But Mark Robinson is not the person that we need over our state. He can't even run his own household. Oh, and I will tell you this, he's so LGBTQ hater, but he didn't mind when me and my gay friend went to his events. He didn't mind hugging him and taking a picture with him.
He needed his vote.
He wanted his vote.
Yeah. He didn't mind hugging you.
But he hates gay people.
He didn't mind hugging you and taking pictures with you, giving you his phone number.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, he didn't mind that at all. He just only minded that after you read a letter of redress of grievance to him. Then he didn't want to talk to her no more. And like I said before, at that time we didn't know his daughter was a prosecutor.
And that
So now we
apparently
know
they
why
were,
he won't talk to her, and he can't talk to her because
apparently they were colluding in the other county
Exactly.
with the prosecutors and the people in there to
yeah, and if he'd have stood
get
up
on the
against
school
one,
board.
he stands against one prosecutor, he's got to stand against all of them. Mark Robinson ain't no better than the establishment that's already here.
That's right.
He does not care about the American Constitution, the small business owners in these states and these counties. All he cares about is his family, his bills, and him not having to pay taxes if he becomes governor of North Carolina. Then he's got enough power to stop any investigations against him, pretty much. Yeah, say what you want, believe what you want, but you know as good as I do that if he's got his family's in law enforcement, prosecutors, rather they small prosecutors or big, there's nothing going to happen to them. I mean, not in these towns, not in this county. I don't care about how much evidence you got against prosecutors around here. People say all the time, you know, go file a complaint, go file warrants on them, go do this. Somebody's got to be in charge. The people that's doing it are the people in charge, and that's why Mark Robinson refused to stand up beside of her. He promised her he would,
Yep.
but he ain't going to. And every true-blooded American patriot out there that sees that video should want to know, what if it's us up there one day?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's us having to need Mark Robinson's help? And then I ask this question all the time. If he can't protect one person's constitution, how the hell is he going to protect North Carolina state? You know, that's what electing politicians is for. Supposed to be anyway, to make sure the Constitution's upheld and every American gets their word heard and their rights upheld. And it don't matter. You don't get it done here. You don't get it done with Mark Robinson. You don't get it done with the sheriffs who you elect to stand up for you. It's a no-ending situation here. I mean,
Everybody's throwing money at them, and that's what they see, and they forget about the people that they're supposed to be helping.
well, they're not thinking about the people they're supposed to be helping when they're going up there and asking people to vote. My firm believer is they go out there and their first thought is, I need to get up here. If I can get in power, I don't have to worry about nothing again for the rest of my life.
And now he's hot on Facebook asking for money, asking for donations.
Spend that $4 million.
We donated to him. Yeah, we donated.
Take them suits back you bought and spent $1 million on.
Yeah, we thought he was a working class guy like us that really was here to help North Carolina when he came in, but obviously, I would say that
We was wrong.
yeah. I'll say this. I'll just put this out here on this article that I was reading. This guy wrote, he said, it would be one thing if these issues were an exception, but for Robinson, financial irregularity seemed to be too much the norm in his campaigns and even in his life. When it was disclosed in July of 2022 that Robinson had unpaid Guilford County tax bills going back to 2006, he did finally pay off the delinquent taxes and passed it off saying, I'm not very good at math. That sounds like a candidate we need in North Carolina, doesn't it? Okay, so it says he's been through 3 bankruptcies.
Excuse me.
1998, 1999, and 2003, just like I just said. And according to court records, 7 years of unpaid federal income taxes. He's even faced eviction from his home after he failed to make his payments. He failed until a news organization has disclosed this to file timely data on statements of financial interest state officials are required to complete.
But he's a politician. He don't have to.
Yep. But the thing is, as many go through times of financial challenge, the honest ones take responsibility, openly acknowledge the mishaps, to work and to meet their obligations. Given his record after more than 3 years as he asked for the vote of North Carolinians for governor, Robinson has an obligation to publicly answer specifically and in details concerns that are raised.
I'll still give $1,000 if he'll meet you in front of a news media or investigative reporter, anybody with a camera, and explain why he lied to you to your face.
Yeah.
He knew the minute he said that to you that he wasn't going to talk to you again. He had no intentions of speaking to you again the minute you walked off that stage.
Yep. I rode around with his name on my car all over North Carolina.
Now,
Have
you rode
many
through
pictures.
Second most dangerous neighborhood in North Carolina, and that's ranked by the government of North Carolina, not us saying it.
In Kinston, North Carolina.
Kinston, North Carolina, rode around with his name all over your car to campaign for him. And what did he do to you? What did he do for you or to you?
Nothing.
He didn't do shit for you, and he lied to you to your face.
And because he lied, we became a bigger target, and the veterans establishment ended up getting robbed by thug, order obeying law enforcement officers that ride by illegal immigrants all day, every day, and they policed supposedly a 6-month investigation on a small veterans establishment.
And we know that's a lie because there wasn't no investigation, but that's okay. It's still funny. They had time to do a 6-month investigation, but yet they couldn't figure out that it wasn't my money.
Yeah.
I mean, I still say again, how many did they have there investigating? 3, 4? I know there was at least 7, 8 or more.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Trump's finding out about all the corruption that was up there, people that he endorsed. Mark Robinson was one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants Mark Robinson to be his vice president with this kind of record he's got going.
We got text messages and evidence proving they communicated from county to county
Yeah.
in order to investigate, in order to rob the veterans.
And go threaten our landlord on top of that.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah.
In the
What
same
gives law
county.
enforcement the right to threaten a landlord to throw someone off their property, out of their buildings, after they've been there 8.5 years and never missed a month's rent, just because law enforcement don't like them?
Yeah.
Just because they couldn't get to them no other way. Well, we'll threaten the landlord. We'll just have them thrown out, and it worked.
Well, okay, we're going to make this short. So I think we're going to wrap this up. We just wanted to throw a few things out here for Mark Robinson. I'm going to be doing a commercial and putting out soon.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
We've done a bunch of videos of jobs going on around here. It's really sad because the only people working in them are illegal immigrants. All these jobs should be going to the American citizens. I know a lot of framers, roofers, siders, that if they could get these jobs and make money on them, they wouldn't even need the government to pay their rent. Right now, the illegal immigrants are getting their bills paid, their food stamps to eat on, their light bills paid. They don't have to pay taxes. They're probably getting the phones paid for and a gas card, but I can't prove that.
Well, they
What I
just
can
said
prove, they're illegal immigrants and they all over these jobs.
they just removed students in New York and put them at doing remote learning so that they could house the illegal immigrants. All right, well, we're going to sign off.
Sorry about that.
Hold on. We're going to sign off for now, and we just wanted to put a short video about Mark Robinson. Please do your diligent research. He's a liar. He doesn't care about your rights. He doesn't care about my rights. He doesn't care that he didn't pay his bills. He doesn't care that the veterans got robbed. And obviously he doesn't care that he's taken a lot of taxpayer money to finance his nice wardrobe and other bills and personal loans that he paid off. So, peace out. We're
Y'all
out.
have a good day, and
We'll be
talk
back
to y'all
soon.
later.
We got more videos coming. Thanks for watching.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.